Hello there, everyone. So, you've watched dozens out of the myriads of object shows that are on YouTube, and you think to yourself, hey, I want to make my own. Of course, you may be tempted to include everything you know about an object show into yours, but don't throw everything into a blender and just call it a day. If you carefully analyze object shows, you'll see many common traits, such as shared character archetypes, a shared competitive formula, and antagonists who want to steal the show or prize for themselves. Now, there are also non-competitive shows, and while they too have similarities, they are far less obvious than in competitive shows. I am Opalinsky, and in this video I will teach you how to make your object show stand out. Now, this is the first video in a series I tend to do to help people create better media, as I've learned from experience. So if you want more videos like these, subscribe, as they will be very helpful tools. The first thing a good object show needs is rounded, well-dimensional characters, as they are universally considered more engaging than flat cardboard cutouts. You may be tempted to make a character with entirely positive or entirely negative traits, but real people don't work that way and instead have a mixture of both positive and negative traits. And some examples I can think of are a nice character could become mean toward one person, or if angered, a jerk type character could have a soft spot for someone or develop a soft spot. An athletic type character could be bad at one or more sports, or a dimwit could be smart in one or more fields. Another common trope I see in object shows are purely sadistic hosts. It's important to be careful with these because they come off as oversaturated and boring after watching multiple shows with these hosts. A good way to subvert it would be to have the host reduce their sadism over time, and a good example of this is Me from 4, the host of Inanimate Insanity. After he recovers his memories of Steve Cobbs, he warms up to the contestants, which eventually culminates in the finale of Inanimate Insanity 2. Another common trope I see in object shows are vile antagonists, especially those who want to steal the show and or the prize for their own personal gain. Or they are mass murderers or mad scientists. If you want a vile antagonist, you must be very careful with them, because if you go too far, they'll just be a source of tasteless shock value. Now, this goes without saying, but it is important to have no Mary Sues whatsoever. You can tell that a character is a Mary Sue if they have traits that are totally unrealistic for the setting, are completely liked by everyone, and overall have absolutely no flaws in them whatsoever. Now, it's okay to have a Mary Sue wannabe, but they shouldn't turn into a Mary Sue over time. Another thing a good object show character has is smooth, reasonable development as your show progresses. Generally, they will overcome their flaws or weaknesses, or improve in one way or another. For example, a shy character could overcome their anxiety. A wannabe artist or athlete could improve their skills. A jerk or bully type character could learn how horribly they treat others and change their ways. Or maybe a nice character is hiding something. This goes without saying, but the quality of characters is greater than the quantity of characters. Now, there are many object shows with high character counts that are actually engaging, such as Mysterious Object Super Show or Game Show of Extreme Fun and Violence. But the more characters you have, there's a good chance you'll be sacrificing the rounded, well-developed characters that people are looking for. So if you want to make a good object show, make your characters well-developed and engageable. Object shows also come in numerous genres. While the most common division is between competitive shows and non-competitive shows, non-competitive shows can also be divided into slice of life and adventure shows. You can also apply a theme to your show. Examples that I've seen are space-themed shows like Supernova Specialization in Planet Hoppers, hotel-themed shows inspired by Inanimate Insanity 2 like Double Down and Sudden Death, and even those with unique themes, such as Project Breakout, which takes place on a tour bus, and Fight and Flight, which takes place on an airplane. Now, slice of life shows focus around the daily lives of the characters, and ones that I know are PB&GB, Modern Objects, Becky Bucket, and the third season of Excellent Entities. Now, I also consider adventure-based shows to be very engaging, and ones that I know of are Epic Jungle Show, Journey into the Multiverse, and Sacrificially Solitary. Another unique object show is The Nightly Manor, which is a murder mystery show centered around a haunted mansion. There are other genres I could think of that I haven't seen yet. What about a sports-themed object show? One that takes place on a ship or in a submarine? Or one that involves giant robots or monsters or magical girls? The possibilities are endless. So if you want to make a good object show, pick a unique theme and bend the genre to your liking. The last thing a good object show needs is a well-written storyline. It's best to have a brief synopsis of each episode before you even begin writing the first. And if you want a competitive show, it may be a good idea to add non-competitive episodes, such as one focusing on the daily lives of the contestants or host, or an adventure arc that spans multiple episodes. It is also very important to avoid clichés that I've seen over and over, and they're so oversaturated in my opinion they aren't interesting anymore. These include the host appearing out of nowhere after every contestant is introduced, contests ripped from BFDI and Inanimate Insanity, likely because they're the most ingrained object shows in the community, voting to eliminate as they're inherently biased against jerks and less liked contestants, and eliminated contestants being locked up, sent to an alternate dimension, killed, or otherwise incapacitated, as that wastes a good opportunity to explore their lives outside the show. Now if you want pairings, it's best not to force them from the start. A good example I can think of is Firepound from Clash to be Champion. By the way, I don't support Cole. People have been shipping Fireball and Pound basically since they first interacted in Season 1 Episode 2, and had Episode 14 been released, they would have kissed and would have become official. I'd say PayJ, OJ times Paper from Inanimate Insanity, I'd say is a good example. They started off as just friends in Season 1, and by the end of Season 2 they became a full-fledged couple. So if you want to make a good object show, know which direction your show is going from the start, and spice up the formula to some extent. Now what can you take away from this? A good object show needs multi-dimensional characters, a unique combo of genre and theme, and a well-written plot from conception, because all in all, a deep and engaging object show is better than one that uses elements familiar to object show fans, and will earn your show more views. As I said at the start of this video, this is the first in a series of videos I tend to do on my channel, but don't expect there to be a regular schedule. I'm Opalinsky, leaving you with a complete set of bodies for Bamboo, one of my object show's characters.